Good morning. Thank you for this invitation. My name is Monica Badin, and I work at Work Capital in the hospitality industry. Today, the purpose of my presentation is to share with you the preview outcome and the impact of the hotel real estate asset value. So, let's start off with the criteria that we use to carry out this research. We focused our attention to two main factors, destination and trading potential. So we assigned a score to each tourist destination based on location, infrastructure, demand drivers, and customer sentiment. So we know that properties that are normally sold and bought have in regard the trading potential, because profit is the benefit to the owner, and profit-based valuations of hotels helps us to decide what future the market is buying. And lastly, we determined the price per room. A moment, please. We are going to share the presentation. There are some technical issue. So they are helping to share the presentation. Otherwise, it's very challenging to see the figures. So we start again. Lastly, we determined the price per room, comparing what has been paid so we hope to see the presentation. Thank you so much. So we estimated the price per room comparing what has been paid for similar opportunities. But what really makes life difficult? Well, the main point is transparency, and also lack of reliable information, unrealistic forecasts, over-renting, lack of market transparency, and unrealistic assumptions. So to make informed decisions in regards to these matters, this research transfers business intelligence value to development and disposition analysis. And this research would like to be an independent source of information presenting Italian hotels' real estate assets value and perspective. Let's go to the key points. We analyzed carefully 266 tourist destinations. We outlined the number of properties divided by class. We set the average hotel size per class, and we estimated the hotel's real estate assets value per cluster, region, and destination. So what does the market offers? In Italy, the market offers a majority of 3-star properties with an average size of 33 rooms, with a total amount of more than 15,000 properties, followed by 4 stars, which are roughly 6,000. 5 stars amount to only 521. Italian hotels' real estate assets value is nearly 117 billion of euros. So what we can see from this slide is that the numbers don't reflect the values. Even if 3-star properties are roughly 2.5 times more than the numbers of 4 stars, they represent a mostly half the value. The segment with the largest, which has the largest share of value, is the upscale, with its 62.8 billions. Looking at the upper upscale and luxury segment, the values change again, since only 521 properties make almost 1/3 of First Star's asset value. Now let's talk about cities. Key cities remain dominant in the hotel real estate asset class. Rome, Milan, Venice, and Florence amount to roughly 78% of the overall assets value. But due to the lack of a product in line with international standards and due to poor requalification opportunities in prime location, we have investors are shifting their needs to alternative cities such as Naples, Turin, and Genoa. Turin, for example, reaches about 462 million euros for a total amount of 94 properties, which have an average hotel size of 38 keys in the mid-scale segment. The mid-scale segment is amounted to roughly 68% of the overall total supply. Turin is a good example of 3 stars presence throughout cities and in Italy. Let's look at the top 10 cities ranking, where Rome is the star in all categories, with more or less 12 billion euros. Let's see Sun and Sea destinations. Emilia-Romagna amounts to slightly above 23% thanks to its mid-scale segment. So for a total value of around 4.4 billions. Meanwhile, in Campania, just only 4 stars and 5 stars, total together roughly 2 billions. In mountain destinations, we have Trentino Alto Adige with around 3.7 billions. But let's look at Cortina. Cortina has just only 53 properties, with an average hotel size of 25 rooms in the mid-scale segment and nearly 50 rooms in the upscale segment, with real estate assets value around 327 millions. So family-run properties and independent hotels remain dominant in the market. Let's look at Milan in detail. Milan continues to have a role of a gateway city and is capable of competing with other European markets. We recorded 288 properties with an overall value of 5.8 billion, which represent 18.5%. More specifically, we have 125 properties in the mid-scale segment with an average of 46 rooms and an average price per key of 100,000 euros. In the upscale segment, we have a price per key of 190,000 euros. And regarding 5 stars amount to 3 times the value of 4 stars, with significantly less property and with an an average room capacity. So let's see the price per key per area. Duomo and Via Monte Napoleone Fashion District have recorded values ranging from average values ranging from 170,000 euros for 3 stars up to 885,000 euros for the 5 stars and the luxury properties. Area 2, we have average values ranging from 130,000 euros for the mid-scale segment up to 570,000 euros for the 5 stars. In Area 3, values are decreasing consistently, ranging from 120,000 euros for 3 stars to 345,000 euros for 5 stars. Outskirts, we find values ranging from 90,000 euros up to 130,000 euros for 4 stars. So that brings me at the end of my presentation. And I hope that this report will be a value proposition to support the hotel sectors in these challenging times. Thank you so much for your attention.
Grazie Monica. Grazie. Thank you also for Work Capital, very, very important research. Thank you also for the support of AICA, Confindustria Alberghi. This is the first research focused on real estate, hotels value, and is a work in progress. We just started a few weeks ago, and will be very nice to find also some partners that they want to work with us, with Work Capital, in this important research. This research is very important because it's a view from the real estate market and is the weight of tourism in terms of value. This research was made with the value pre-COVID-19. Then in these weeks, we are to work on the impact of COVID-19. Of course, it depends on some points. One is market, that it depends market to market. For instance, cities, the impact will be very important, respect the destination as sea and mountain. It depends on asset to asset, the quality of the asset, and it depends on segment to segment. For instance, resort, less impact than hotel in the city, and also less impact from, for instance, apartments. And another important point is about the role of brand. In our opinion, the more important impact market for independent hotels. Then, as I mentioned, this is just the first step, and then we are looking for partners in order to share with you some part of our report that will be available in the next weeks. And the goal is work on a report that once, twice per year, we can present to the market. Thank you again.